So I want to change subjects a little bit and talk about your research proper.
Hmm.
So you wrote a few papers about the topic of Cold War intelligence, right? Including you wrote one about the Crypto AG affair, right?
Hmm.
Could you share with the audience your thoughts on the affair? Was that a
Yes. Sorry.
I was
Yeah.
just saying, is that a precursor to the usage of intrusive intelligence technologies we see today?
Indeed, indeed, I think it is actually. Sorry, yeah, absolutely. And actually, funnily enough, I wrote that in the paper with which I wrote with Richard Aldrich. That if you include, so Crypto AG essentially was the softening off of the encryption in cryptography machines that were used for diplomatic cables. So from that perspective, I think that's where you can limit down the Crypto AG case study, is that this was really around diplomatic cables rather than anything sort of wider and more interesting, or anything that might impact upon ordinary citizens or even businesses. But where that does become interesting is it fills in a gap. So if we assume that the stuff around Prism is in the late 2000s, um, you then have actually that Crypto AG takes it from the sort of late 1940s, early 1950s, all the way up to 2000. And that in and of itself is very interesting. I mean, the other things about Crypto AG that I think are worth of note is actually the overlap, or the sort of Venn diagram between state actor and private actor. So in this case, it's very stark because state actors owned the private actor in effect. But we've seen also that there has been a commonality, a willingness to assist government in essentially access to various data sources that essentially take the Crypto AG example on. And I think that's very interesting as well, particularly if we then interrogate in our minds the extent to which those private actors are willing to almost like turn off the tap for certain actors. What value judgments are they placing there? The second thing, which is a footnote that cheers me up, but may not be of wider interest, I don't know, we'll see, is actually that this was a really poorly kept secret, whilst it was considered to be one of the sort of premium secrets that were had, in as much as it was revealed by journalists in the 60s. It's revealed by James Banford in his book in 1982. It was revealed by Reagan when talking about the attacks on Libya in 1986. Memory goes a bit fadey, but about 1986. So it's one of these things that it's almost a known, and it just needed a couple of bits of jigsaw puzzle, really rooted out by the Washington Post, to then make all of the rest of the picture look sound. And that's really interesting. But so I think for me, the key point is that Crypto AG wasn't a flash in the pan. It actually gives us an indication of a standard pattern of state behavior. And that won't just be a standard pattern of US state behavior. That's the same for the UK and the Five Eyes, but it will be particularly the case for Russia, China, Iran, North Korea as our more contemporary adversaries. This would be a standard state set of activities rather than anything that was particular or unusual, which is the way it's been cast, I think, in the media.